The Miami Dolphins are cooked, and in 2026, they will be the worst team in the NFL. No lie, no joke. It's official, okay? They cut both Bradley Chubb and Tyreek Hill, and they owe about $80 million to players that are not on the roster. That includes Bradley Chubb, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Ramsey, and a retired tackle in Teron Armstead, man. And with the Tua trade talks being ramped up, or the release talks, this team is going to be abysmal in 2026. Do I think they're going to be as bad as the 2019 Dolphins when they were just horrible those first two games and they kind of picked it up, tanked for two and all that stuff? I don't think it's going to be that bad. But in 2026, man, it's going to be a full-blown tank for whoever, because it is not looking too good. And added on top of that, man, with the Miami Dolphins, they really don't have a whole lot of young, bright pieces. Now, yes, they do got Minka Fitzpatrick, but he's 30 years old. Jalen Waddle, he's approaching 29 years old. Devon Achane, running backs, they don't really, stick too long, and they're going to hit a cliff, hit a wall real soon. And 2026 will be scary for the Dolphins. However, if you are Jeff Hafley or John Eric Sullivan, then you know that this will be a long-term project for the future. Like, this is not going to be a 2026 we were bad, and then now, in 2025 we were bad, and now in 2026 we're going to be Super Bowl contenders. No, this is going to be a full-on rebuild, and I actually kind of like it. Mike McDaniel was a really good offensive-minded coach. However, he lost the locker room. There were reports saying that guys, not by name, but guys were missing out on meetings, late to team workouts, team practices, and all this stuff. And I assume it was Jalen Ramsey. I assume it was Tyreek Hill. We know both of these dudes, flashy, and Tyreek Hill really don't give a dang. He's just going to rely on his speed. But losing the locker room and getting off all the dead fat, all the dead skin off, is just going to be a really good locker room culture change. And that's what the Dolphins really need, is a culture change. And it sucks because the Dolphins got $96 million in dead cap space, but first it was just only Jalen Ramsey. He had like $20 million, but now you add on like $40+ million with Bradley Chubb and Tyreek Hill. That brings the number to $96 million, and then you only have $2 million in cap space. Now, I'm not a salary cap expert. I'm not gonna say restructure this guy, cut this dude, cut that, but bro, $2 million on a very bad team, it ain't looking too good. And you don't got a quarterback. You have a middle of the pack draft pick. Again, 2026 for the Dolphins. I feel sorry for y'all. And Tyreek Hill is an 8-time Pro Bowler, a really phenomenal receiver ever since he got into the NFL. But there's one thing about Tyreek Hill. He's 32 years old. He's coming off a gruesome leg injury, a guy who relies on his speed and explosiveness. I don't know if he's going to be the same player, but I would love to see Tyreek Hill on the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, I say that because you're going to bring in Fernando Mendoza. I'm sure you're going to bring in some other guys. You're going to have Fernando Mendoza, Tyreek Hill, Brock Bowers, Ashton Genty. That will be a very fun team and a very secure team for Fernando Mendoza. Again, you got a really good running back. You got a top 3 tight end in the NFL, and hopefully he comes back healthy, a speedster demon, and Tyreek Hill. Going back to the Dolphins, they're actually in a really good position to bring some young talent. Now, over the last couple of years, they've made some very questionable draft picks. Kenneth Grant, I'm not really a big fan of him. Chop Robinson, he had a really explosive first step, but he really hasn't been producing. And those are two valuable positions, two valuable draft picks that are kind of been wasted. And I'm hoping that, Jeff Hafley and John Eric Carter, I forgot his name already, sorry, but hope they can bring some really good talent, because they got not 1, not 2, but 5 picks in the top 100. Number 11, 43, 75, 87, and 90. And that is really good for a team that needs talent on their football team immediately. Now, me personally, at number 11, I can see them taking Mansour Delane. And I say that because he is a proven talent as far as he played in 2025. Jermon McCoy didn't play in 2025. Not saying he's going to be a bad player, but would you rather go with somebody who's played in the last 6 months or somebody who hasn't played in over a year? And I think it's very fair to say Mansour Delane will be a Miami Dolphin in 2026. And finally, what do they do with Tua? What do the Miami Dolphins do with Tua in the quarterback position? Now, I think it's very clear. He will not be suiting up in September as a Miami Dolphin. I would be very, very shocked if he does. But me personally, this may sound wild. I think they should just do an even swap of Kyler Murray for Tua Tagovailoa. And I say that because, first off, that gives Tua a very fresh start in Arizona. You know, you get all the Miami expectations off your back. You go to Arizona where there's little to no expectations. Just gonna be honest with you. But for the Dolphins side, yes, Kyler Murray is Kyler Murray. He's the GOAT at Call of Duty. But I do think you owe Tua as much money as you do owe him. Like, you want to at least get something for him, and rather it's his replacement. I think Kyler Murray has like 1 or 2 years left on his deal. You can cut ties with him once all of his guarantees are up, or maybe Kyler Murray does need a fresh start, just like Tua. You know, get out of Arizona and come to Miami, and again have that fresh start. I don't know. I heard some talks about Quinn Ewers being the quarterback. I've talked to some Miami Dolphins fans, and they say they wouldn't be mad if Ewers is the quarterback, if they just let Tua walk, which would be a nasty situation, if I'm being honest with you. I've heard some people say Carson Beck go to Miami. Carson Beck, he's kind of projected to be a third or fourth round pick. I wouldn't really be too mad. I'm a big Carson Beck fan. But either way, man, these are just my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and we are out. Peace.